reminded of lately is that there's no such thing as location, only direction. Here's what I mean by that. Especially in terms of your vibration, your spiritualness, like the direction of your heart, if you will, towards either love or fear, it will never stay the same. It's always growing or shrinking. What this means is, even the most seemingly innocent, selfish, or I shouldn't say selfish, even the most seemingly innocent, fearful or angry or hateful thought or resentful thought is the only difference between that and pure hatred and like the worst thing you can imagine is time. Now, the reason time exists, one reason as far as I can tell, is that it's to give us time to see the steps in between a small resentment and pure hatred, so that we can turn around if we decide we don't want pure hatred. One thing that I've noticed as I've grown spiritually and I have freed myself of more limitations is that process has gotten a lot faster. And so in my own psyche, I've perceived that like the positive goes really fast and also the negative goes really fast. But the good news is you can change directions just as fast. And when you're changing directions from negative to positive, assuming that's what we want, it can happen really fast, and you have to be honest about it, and it may not happen all at once in an instant, but you can take some pretty big steps in an instant. The key is that you have to honestly take the biggest step that you can actually take, so you can't fake it. Here's what I mean by that. When people practice gratitude, like I love asking people, like the grocery clerk at the store, like, oh, what are you thankful for today? Instead of how's your day going? Because it's a meaningful question and they have to actually answer it. Well, they don't have to, but it makes them stop and think about it. And what I often get is a cop-out answer, which maybe they genuinely are grateful for being alive, but usually when they say that, you can tell it's not really, they don't really mean that. They're not actually feeling thankful for it. And that's okay. The key to switching your vibration from a negative downward spiral to a positive upward spiral is not trying to moralize yourself into feeling grateful for some high spiritual ideal, like I'm so thankful for being alive or what. Like, if you are genuinely thankful that you're alive, that's awesome. But that is a very high vibration. If you're just thankful for existence, you're probably going to be like dancing or crying because that is so ecstatic and joyful. Maybe not, but probably. But if you aren't genuinely there, just be thankful for what you're actually thankful for, even if it's a freaking cigarette. Like, I know smoking is bad for you. I don't smoke. Smoking is generally not a cool habit anymore, and people say it causes bad things. For me, it's coffee, because I know that caffeine is harmful for me, and I tend to have a negative relationship with it. But in those moments when I'm so down in the pits of despair that I'm like, I hate my life, I want to die, blah, 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 sometimes the quickest and easiest way for me to switch my vibration from a negative to a positive, even if it's just a slight positive, is just, man, I really love good espresso. Or like, oh, thank God for good chocolate. Or sometimes it's just having an energy drink. Or like a sip of my favorite flavor of Alani. And yeah, it's full of BPA and chemicals and it's bad for you. And ultimately that's not a good long-term solution. But the key is in that moment, allowing myself to be honest about what I actually enjoy is what really switches your vibration. And from there, you take the next step. And so once you've settled into that vibration, it might take 2 minutes, it might take 4 hours or whatever. Then the next choice will be given you, and you'll be able to, oh, wait a minute, I'm actually really thankful for this other thing. And it's not always about gratitude. There are other choices that you get. But the point is that you can change your vibration quickly. There's no such thing as location, only direction. And you have to be honest with yourself about where you are and what you're actually thankful for. Don't fake your spiritualness.